Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com with the South Carolina College Baseball scoreboard for Thursday and a look ahead to the schedule for Friday through Sunday. There was only one game played involving a state team on Thursday. Florence-Darlington Tech went up to Fayetteville and beat Fayetteville Tech 10-0. It was a five-inning run rule game, and the Stingers are playing very well right now. They've won 13 out of 15. Their record was so-so early in the season, but they played a couple of really challenging tournaments down in Florida, some very good teams. So what else is going on Friday? I mentioned Florence-Darlington Tech played on Thursday. They also play on Friday. Their series against USC Salkehatchie down in Allendale, they moved it up by a day because of weather concerns. They'll be playing a 2 o'clock game on Friday and a doubleheader on Saturday. Traditionally, the Region 10 teams play doubleheader on Saturday, single game on Sunday, but they did change it. Elsewhere on Friday, Bob Jones is at Payne in the opener of a 3-game series down in Augusta. The Bruins are trying to snap a 9-game losing streak. Elsewhere, Voorhees is at Philander Smith in a doubleheader involving teams in the HBCU Athletic Conference. Shawan is at Southern Wesley in a series that's been adjusted a little bit. The Warriors will play host to that series with a doubleheader on Friday starting at 3 o'clock at Dr. C. Keith Connor Field. Columbia International is at Truett McConnell in a 3 o'clock game in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Erskine, which got a nice win over USC Aiken in comeback fashion earlier this week and has won 4 straight, has a challenge against number 16 Mount Olive in Conference Carolinas play. First game is at 3 o'clock in Pickletown. The host Trojans are ranked number 16 by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association in Division II. Also at 3 o'clock, Newberry is playing another ranked team. They're playing at Lenore-Ryan in the South Atlantic Conference. First pitch 3 o'clock in Hickory. The Bears are ranked number 17 in the Division II Writers Poll. The Citadel is at home for a 4-game series against Northwestern. First game is at 3 o'clock Friday at the Joe. They play a doubleheader on Saturday and a single game on Sunday afternoon. USC Upstate has a ranked team coming into play at Cleveland S. Harley Ballpark. They have the Troy Trojans, who are coached by former South Carolina pitching coach Skylar Meade. First game is pitches at 3 o'clock on Friday, continues at 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. North Greenville, which is ranked number 3 in the Riders Poll in Division II, opens a Conference Carolinas home series against Emmanuel. First time pitch on Friday is at 3:30 at Ray and B. Dillard Field. Series continues with a doubleheader on Sunday. College of Charleston has a home series against Appalachian State. First game is at 4 o'clock on Friday. They continue Saturday and Sunday. Charleston Southern, which played its first road game of the season on Wednesday after a fine start at home, is at Elon in a non-conference series. First pitch is at 4 o'clock up in Burlington, North Carolina. They continue Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Coastal Carolina, which is coming off a tough loss to North Carolina on Tuesday. It was a 5-4 11-inning game. They are at East Carolina for a 4 o'clock game in Greenville, North Carolina on Friday. East Carolina traditionally is challenging for a World Series berth. They get close to the Super Regionals so many times, but never have quite gotten over the hump. But they started out the season 3-6. They've won their last 3, so it should be a good test for the Chanticleers. Clemson, which has run 10 straight and is now 12-1, has a home series against Davidson. First pitch is at 4 o'clock on Friday. Saturday's game is at 3. Sunday's game is at 2. Wofford has a non-conference series at SEC member Kentucky, which is ranked in a couple of polls. First pitch is at 4 o'clock on Friday in Lexington. Limestone has a South Atlantic Conference series at Tusculum. First pitch is at 5 o'clock on Friday. Coach Brett Harker's team's been getting some pretty good pitching, particularly on weekends. They've had 3 shutouts in the last 2 weekends, and I know he'd like to keep that up in East Tennessee. Claflin, which ended a long losing streak in the game 1 of its doubleheader with Anderson earlier this week, is at North Georgia in a Peach Belt Conference series. First pitch is at 6 o'clock on Friday. The games continue Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Coker has a challenge against number 9 Catawba in the South Atlantic Conference. First pitch is at 6 o'clock in Salisbury. The Cobras have been playing well lately. This will be a good challenge for them, see if they can get a game or 2 on the road. USC Aiken, which suffered that tough loss to Erskine I mentioned earlier, is at home against Georgia Southwestern in a Peach Belt Conference series. First pitch is at 6 o'clock on Friday at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. They continue Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Francis Marion and King adjusted their schedule a little bit. They're playing the opener of their series at 6 o'clock on Friday at Sparrow Stadium in Florence, and they play a doubleheader on Saturday. Lander, which had a 10-game winning streak snapped last Sunday, but they bounced back with a win midweek, is at Augusta in Peach Belt Conference Series play. They'll be playing again on Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Also in the Peach Belt Conference, USC Beaufort, which is on a long losing streak, will be playing at Georgia College at 6 o'clock on Friday. The Georgia College Bobcats are coached by former South Carolina pitcher Nolan Belcher. Speaking of South Carolina, they're at home for a 3-game series against Morehead State. The Eagles are 6-5, but they have a couple of home run threats in their lineup. South Carolina is now 11-3. They, after losing those 3 straight to Clemson last weekend, they've beaten Davidson and the Citadel midweek. The Gamecocks will again be without catcher Talmadge Lecroy out of Belton Honeypath. He's recovering from a broken bone in his thumb in his right hand. And they'll also be without Gavin Braylon, their freshman catcher, who is really starting to come on, it seemed like. He got an injury when he slid into the dugout at the Citadel game Wednesday night down in Charleston. I believe the Gamecock folks are hopeful he'll be back. I'm not sure if they've got any more tests going on. USC should be able to get Kennedy Jones back after missing a couple of games midweek with an injury suffered in the Clemson series. Also on Friday, Presbyterian is at unbeaten in number 23, Alabama at 7 o'clock at Joe Sewell Field in Tuscaloosa. They'll continue that series Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Also in the state on Friday, the first pitch invitational begins at Floor Field in Greenville. Michigan State comes down to Greenville every year to play some games because Greenville Drive owner Craig Brown is a Michigan State alum. They've already played 6 games so far in their trip. They're going to be playing 4 more this weekend, including 2 on Friday. They play Cornell at 10 o'clock and UAB at 2 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, Winthrop plays UAB at Floor Field. And Winthrop is coming off a really, really nice win over Oklahoma State on Wednesday. They won that game 9-3. They were close in the first game of that 2-game series, got beat 3-2, and Oklahoma State scored a run in the bottom of the 8th inning to go ahead in that one. There are several series that begin on Saturday. Let's look at those. Edward Waters is at Benedict for a doubleheader at noon down in Columbia. Spartanburg Methodist is up in Laurinburg, North Carolina to play St. Andrews. That's a doubleheader also at noon. In Region 10, Junior College, USC Lancaster is at USC Sumter for a doubleheader at Riley Park in Sumter. And USC Union is at Gaston College for a doubleheader at 1 o'clock at Sims Legion Park in Gastonia. That's the ball field you ride by when you're going through Gastonia to get over to Charlotte. USC Union is kind of a surprise so far this year. They're 5-1 in the region. They've only lost 1 game all season. And the preseason pickers, if you will, figured it would be between Florence-Darlington Tech and Gaston College for the Region 10 championship. Right now, again, Union is atop them, and if they can get a game or 2 out of this series, I'm sure that it would help them feel good about what's going on the rest of the year. Still early in the season, of course. After this weekend, they'll have played 9 out of 30 region games. The final team opening its weekend series on Saturday, is Anderson. They will be at Virginia Wise for a 4 o'clock game on Friday. They continue with a doubleheader on Sunday. I mentioned Michigan State earlier in my broadcast. I want you to take a look at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I've done a feature on Dominic Pianto, a Michigan State pitcher. Why am I doing a feature on him, you say? Well, he began his career at Furman, and he was on the team when the administration pulled the rug out from under it. And he was able to put together some clips on Twitter, and got the word out about himself, marketed himself, and landed at Michigan State. Again, that story's at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I hope you'll take time to read it. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do. Let me know if you don't. And that is, one other thing. After playing in Greenville on Friday and Saturday, Winthrop goes back home to Founders Field to play a game at home against Cornell to round out Winthrop's weekend. One reminder that on Friday night, starting at 6:30 this week, I will be on South Carolina Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut to talk about college baseball in South Carolina. I hope you'll listen in if you're not at a game or not watching or listening to a game. And I hope I can provide more and more coverage of college baseball in South Carolina so you will enjoy it. I do this only because I enjoy college baseball. I enjoy giving recognition to folks who are doing well. If you enjoy it, let me know. Tell your friends about it. And I will plan to do a wrap-up of Friday night's games starting tomorrow night. And again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying God bless and have a good night.